Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is DaylesAddiction. This is just a short video because so many people are on the And Just Like That train, which has led them to the Fendi train and connected to my unboxing from 2 years ago where I bought this beautiful Sex and the City Purple Rain Baguette. And this was a re-release of the 90s version but with some upgrades. Now, people are asking me, what's the wear and tear like? How do you find the bag? And I've been responding to a few comments because there's not a lot of videos on this bag or people that have kept the bag for a long time. Now, I do have to say that Karen Britchick, I will link her channel below, she's just done a really comprehensive review on this bag and she might be the reason that I am wearing my bag with a denim jacket and a t-shirt and a pair of kicks because her styling is out of this world. I've got a few pictures to show you of how I style this bag, but really I just want to help answer some of those questions in person instead of on a DM or a message on YouTube to kind of help you make a decision whether or not this is something you want to pre-order. So here's what I know. And this is all just hearsay. This is not direct from Fendi. Although I was in Fendi the other day and I did take this bag with me. I'll insert a photo over here. And they were saying that this bag is the bane of their existence at the moment because everyone's calling up for it. This is currently listed on the Australian website, as is the pink version that Carrie wore in the recent And Just Like That Season 1. They are not available, but they are on the website, so you can take a look at them there. Apparently there's going to be like another 50 made. Now, because they are handmade, that's a lot of beating to do for the poor craftspeople who have to meticulously put this together. That's what I know about availability, and I am aware that a few of you who have reached out to me have recently purchased this bag or have a deposit on this bag for pre-order, so it's something that people want to know. Now, the question that I get asked the most is, what about the sequins? Do the sequins fall off? Do the beads fall off? Look, they haven't for me. And I guess this bag is one of those bags that if you've got any doubts that you are going to be concerned, I guess I don't want to liken it to Chanel fashion jewelry, but it's like people who go, oh, I really want to buy the Chanel earrings with the crystals, but I'm worried the crystals will fall out. And then you have this ongoing anxiety about it. Don't buy them because you're going to be worried about it and you won't wear the earrings. I think the same applies to this Fendi Baguette. If you are worried about things like that and you will not be able to overlook something going wrong, I think don't buy it because you will never use the bag the way it was intended to be used. Have any of my sequins or beads fallen off? No, not that I have noticed. And I feel like that each of them would be tied on individually perhaps, so that if you lost one, or there'd be a knotting system or something, you wouldn't lose a whole string of them like, those cheap bracelets that we used to buy. But here's an example down the side here where you can see these beads that kind of take up the edges. And so I think that they are all attached fairly robustly. As per the sequins, there's lots of different shaped sequins, and if I pull them up, which will probably give some people the trigger, you can see there, hopefully you can see there. Okay, you can see there how they're stitched on. So there's multiple sequins stitched on and you can see the bag just underneath those sequins. They're all different shapes and sizes. I don't know if it's a random pattern or if it's now really close up or if it's, an actual pattern. I've never looked at two of these close together, but I feel like they're pretty well attached. The main concern that I have when I use this bag is opening and closing it. And some of you are probably going to go, well, that's what you're going to do with it all the time. Because you've got to hold the base of the bag and they've got really good magnets and you've got to pull this up. And that kind of, at the beginning, used to make me nervous that I was pulling it, which meant I was putting downward pressure on the base of the bag and maybe I was going to break off these sequins that are down the bottom here. Well, that's a good place to show you where they're stitched on. So you can see them just stitched along here. But so far, there's been no real stress. They don't look stretched at all. They're very well secured. So in terms of the sequins and the beads, I think you've just got to be real with yourself and figure out if that's something that's going to make you too nervous to wear the bag and enjoy it, or if you're going to be able to cope with it okay. So you can also see how delicate this beading is right along the edge of the flap of the bag. So, you know, there's lots of very important craftsman details in this bag. You got to figure out if it's for you, if you're in love enough to buy it. I don't think I can tell you that. So this is just my opinion. So the other thing to share with you is I think this is lambskin, the leather on the bag. I think that's lambskin. The Fendi Baguette has a big buckle and it is prone to getting scratched, and mine does have hairline scratches on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. Yeah, you can just see it just along the bottom there. Not something I'm particularly worried about, but look how beautiful this glittery inlay of the buckle is. It's just like everything about this bag is extra. So then you open it up, and something funny about mine is it looks like this has been placed off center, this little magnet closure, and all of my baguettes look like that. So I don't know why that's the case, but it certainly is. Now inside you've got this fantastic gold silk lining, and you've got the Baguette stamp on it. Now I keep a handbag butler in mine, so if I'm ever somewhere where I can't place it on a chair, I don't have to put it on a table, I can just hang it by its top handle. So inside the bag, again, if you're going to be worried about having a silk lining, probably a good idea to do what I did, and Zoomoni reached out and partnered with me and said, would I like some bag organisers to review? And this was the first bag that I thought of. And the reason that I thought of it is because of storage. And I actually thought it would be easier to use this bag with an organiser in. It depends if you're someone who likes a structured bag or not. And I'll show you. Because the bag comes with a detachable top handle and a strap, so you've got 2 D-rings, which is great because you don't have to carry them both on the same D-ring. It is with nothing in it. It's a bit of a mess. I prefer it saggy, so I'll just put a couple of things in it and show you what it looks like without an organiser so that you can see the sagginess. I've just put a handful of things in the bag. I've got my Bottega Veneta wallet. I've got my Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder. I've got a pair of sunglasses, I've got an iPhone 13 Pro, a pair of AirPods and my car fob, and that's it, and all of that fits in there easily. There is room for more. So here's what it looks like without the organiser. Now this is the look that I prefer. You might not prefer this look. See how it has that less structured look? I like it like that. I'll put the organiser in and I'll show you what it looks like with the organiser in, just so you can see everything just sitting in the bag. Okay, so now I've got the organiser in and I've packed all of those things into the bag, and you can see the shape. So it's still a little bit slouchy, but it's definitely a lot more boxy and structured than what it was without the organiser. So I think it's a great option that you can have an organiser custom made for you. And as I said, Zoomoni offered me this one for free in response for a review, but not for this bag. I chose it for this bag, and I'm really happy I did because it's made storage a breeze. It's not a big mess when I put it on my shelf. Now, in terms of handle wear, I do believe that this is lamb as well, and I do have an imprint from storing it. Just a little imprint. You probably can just see that there from storing it on a hook. So it is delicate, but when you wear it in your hand, it's not. You probably just avoid rings. This strap here, I rarely use. It's not really useful for me. I think you could just throw it on your shoulder like that. But if you know my channel, you know that I have quite a few Fendi bags and I've got a few straps. I prefer this bag hand carried, and Karen said the same thing in her video, or on the crook of my arm. I bought this for $6,100 back in July of 2020, and that's in Australian dollars, brand new from the boutique. So I think they're selling for like $6,300 now, which is not a considerable increase considering the time that has passed. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. Do I have any cons? No, the only thing is how good this magnet is. And I think if it wasn't that good, we'd be complaining that it wasn't secure enough, because it just makes me a little bit nervous that I've got to be so careful with it when I open it and close it. If anything, I'd love this strap to be adjustable. Not that I want to wear it really low down on my hip, but it just needs to be a little bit longer for those of us who've got bigger chests. It doesn't look like a baguette. It looks like it's propping your boobs up. And that's not the look that I'm wanting. Now, I store this in one of my closed cupboards normally. And I will tell you a little secret, and it'll probably make you cringe, but it is susceptible to catching dust because of the material that the sequins are made of. So I use a microfiber cloth and I just go with the sequins, and I give it a wipe. And I also used my Dyson. I also used my Dyson with the little fluffy head attachment, you know, that you use to kind of get into your shutters and things like that. And I gave it a really gentle vacuum and it was fine. So if I couldn't destroy my baguette by vacuuming it, I think that's a pretty good indication of craftwork. Craftwork? Of craftsmanship, don't you? So throughout this video, I'm going to show you a few pictures from my Instagram around how I've styled it, and I'll give you some mod shots now so that you can see it on me. I'm an Australian size 14. I'm 166 centimeters tall, so I'm not a little girl, but I'm not a big girl. I'm just average, I think. Average but wanting to be smaller. Too much information, I know. But yeah, I will never regret having bought this bag. I'll link my unboxing video above. I've got a big love of Fendi statement bags, and if you didn't know that already, I will link my Fendi collection video as well. So hopefully this has been a helpful video for those of you who are considering parting with your hard-earned cash to buy this dream bag. I hope it is, and if it's not, move on. You will find something else that you absolutely love that will not make you as nervous as a hand beaded sequined baguette bag. Cheers, guys.